Sack Life. Beat Depression. It's day 882, and even if you're feeling blue, you know what we're about to do. Knock out depression with another somatic healing session. Thank you, everybody, for being here now. Anyone who's tuning in later, today is the final day of our 21 days of gratitude movement through hope to courage. So today will be the final day of those basic tools. We're sharing that basic instruction, super beginner friendly. If you did miss this last 21 days of instructionals, you can go back and catch up at your own pace and get yourself those fundamental tools so that you'll be able to keep up with us in the coming rounds ahead for all eternity. Until depression is wiped out from the face of the planet, I will be here every single day to support your growth and to share the tools that have saved my life and helped save other people's lives as well. So, that being said, let's talk about the first mental health tool that we practice on every single show, the powerful tool of gratitude. The more we use it, the more powerful it can become in our lives. And checking in on the comments, I am grateful too. Braces can be scary. Claire, thank you for being here. And Master Checo, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for being here as well. And Lisa the Luminary, thank you all for tuning in. And to anyone who's tuning in later, appreciate you all out there. You are all part of my gratitude section. I also want to shout out specific gratitude to Naomi, to Alan, to Samia, to all the mental health professionals who have taken time out of their lives, out of their schedules to provide free mental health tools and free access to their services, professional services, through the Hope to Courage movement. It's an amazing thing when we share our self-care and we share those tools, the ripple effect that we're able to have out here in the world. So I want to shout out gratitude to all those guys and girls as well. And I want to shout out some specific gratitude, special gratitude mentioned to the Y and the I, Yuli and Isaac of Y and I Music. They are going to be doing a live stream from their Facebook page today at about 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be featured on it. They've been gracious enough to lend us some time to help raise an awareness through their platform so that we can continue to empower others and continue to support each other and find ways to build free mental health care for the world together. So, special gratitude going out to those two magical humans, the Y and the I. If you don't know who they are, check them out. We'll put a link up on the page. Give them some love, show them some support. They covered our trip, the first Punch Across America tour. They covered us day to day. They were following me as I took that first journey, and they've been super supportive from day one. Just really cool people to be around, great energy, and they're super talented musicians who from time to time do occasional live shows and share their talent with the world for free. So check them out, you won't be disappointed. That being said, that's the end of my gratitude section today. Go ahead and think about your gratitude section. It'll help put you in that positive mindset as we move into the lesson. Second mental health tool we're going to talk about is progress tracking. It's been 882 days of progress and success for me. How many days has it been for you? It doesn't matter if it's consecutive. If it's consecutive, it will have a better effect, a compounding effect, a more powerful effect if you can stay dedicated and consistent. But even if you don't, simply keeping track of your progress and the number of times that you have accomplished your daily goal in the face of anything that is trying to stop you, especially if you are dealing with mental health issues, that is a day of proof of your strength and endurance. And it's extremely important that you give yourself credit for your strength and endurance so you can break out of that victim mindset that depression tries to sell us. Please do keep track of that progress for you. And then share it with others to be that change you want to see. Share it with others so that you can inspire them to find their way forwards and share their progress. And it will be mutually beneficial for all. That being said, if you got a number, please do share it. Shout out to Slayer Ken, I see you. And he just shared his days at 490, 10 days away from the big 500. Good stuff, brother. Well done. Thank you for your consistency and for regularly showing up, not just for you, but also for others by sharing that progress. Appreciate you. So, we covered gratitude. We covered the progress tracking tool. Let's talk about today's lesson. As I said, it's the final day, day 21 of our 21 days of gratitude movement. And we have shared tools from all 8 limbs, all of the martial art of 8 limbs known as Muay Thai. The hands, the elbows, the knees, and the legs, the shins. Right? So we've got all different tools that have equipped us to create a creative routine, get into that flow state where we can eliminate those effects of mild to moderate depression and anxiety, create an never-ending road of progress and success for ourselves. But even though we've covered a little bit of each of the Art of 8 limbs, it has a rich and long history, and there is literally unlimited room for growth, unlimited room for improvement if you would like to continue your martial arts journey. You can literally learn and grow and improve and get better every single day for the rest of your life and never run out of progress to be made. So, if you're inspired to take that journey, please do seek out a martial arts studio or stick with us. We're going to be diving into more advanced combinations, elite striking techniques as we move back into our regular daily program. That, like I said, I'll be here every single day, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to support your growth as we grow together. So, today is the final day. We're going to cover a fun one, a good one, a nice effective kick. It's a roundhouse kick to the head, knockout power, coming right from the Muay Thai striking system. And I'm going to show you the difference between that low round that we learned already, the mid round, and then the high round, how you can practice them at home, how you can practice them in your shadowboxing session, and how the heavy bag will help you as well. So let's get into that. First, checking in on comments. Looks like everybody... Claire said, Happy Superhero Sunday. You're a day early, Claire. Tomorrow is Superhero Sunday. Superhuman Sunday. We'll be tapping into those tools to calm our nervous system. Today is Saturday. So it is a normal higher intensity day. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath and drink some water. So, that being said, let's talk about this roundhouse kick from our balanced Muay Thai stance. Right? Guard high by the brow line, hips square, shoulders square with our opponent. We want to visualize where the head of that opponent is. So, typically I like to visualize that opponent as the same body height as me. And when I'm working with the bag, I think about where's my head when I'm in fighting stance. It's right here, directly in front of me, right? So if you're working with a shadow boxing dummy, visualize that head, visualize that striking surface right in front of you. And that's where we're going to pass our shin through. And I say shin on purpose, very intentionally, because when it's Muay Thai, the proper way to toss a roundhouse kick to the head is to connect with the shin, not with the foot. That being said, you'll see dozens of people using the foot. The foot is still going to hurt. It's still an effective technique, but it'll be more effective if we use that shin. So to think about it in proper terms, Muay Thai is the most effective striking system in the world for a reason. One of those reasons is that hip rotation and using that shin as that surface, that striking surface. We can harden the shin, condition the shin, and make it much stronger than those tiny bones in the foot, and it's much less risky when it's practiced correctly. So let's talk about if you've got a heavy bag first. If you've got a heavy bag, we're going to assign sections to that heavy bag. The low kick's going to be from that waist to about right above the knee. That's our low kick area. The mid kick is going to be from the ribs down to the waist. That's our mid kick area. And then the head up top. That's your head kick area. So what we want to do when we're squared up with that opponent or squared up with that heavy bag and we're practicing those roundhouse kicks, identify your targets and then toss your kicks where they belong. We covered the low round already. Stepping out, flat foot, low round, boom, into that leg knee. We covered the mid roundhouse kick. We're standing up nice and straight, stepping off the line, using the ball of the foot to pivot here, and mid roundhouse kick right to the body there, under the ribs, or just on the ribs down to the waistline. And now for the high kick, the high roundhouse kick, or the head kick, what we want to do is going to be very similar to that mid-range roundhouse, but we're going to change our target. So when we change that target, we're going to step off the line. Starts the same way. Step off the line using the ball of the foot as our pivot point. We're going to reach across the face, and we're going to chop kind of across and down on an angle. And when you do this, you want to think about sending your foot up through the face and then down, around, all the way around to the other side. So we're going to pivot on the ball of that lead foot all the way around, full 360 rotation. Some people teach the half rotation. We're not going to teach that today just to condense time, and this is a way that I enjoy a little more. It flows a little better with my fighting style. So what we're going to do, we're going to think about where that head is. We're going to visualize the head of that opponent, that physical target, or if you've got the bag, identify where that head will be. Then we're going to step off the line from our balanced Muay Thai stance, planting the ball of the lead foot outside that line. We're going to reach across the face of that opponent. And then we're going to toss that leg up and over, rolling the hip just like we do for the other roundhouse kicks. We really want to turn the hip. That's what's going to set our angle on that shin to contact at the right point. And we're going to send it up, through the head, and then back down, and we're going to continue rotating all the way back around to stance. It's going to look like this. Reach across the head, toss it up, boom, and bring it all the way back around to orthodox stance. If you don't have the hip mobility to do that, just work with the roundhouse to the body, turning that hip, and slowly work your way up. You may want to practice some mobility exercises first. A good hip mobility exercise is bringing the knee up, winding it out, stepping down, bring it up, wind it in, step down. Do the same thing on the opposite leg. Shh, nice and slow. Shh, boom. And then another good hip mobility drill is to put your foot up on something high. It can be at any height that you'd like. Put your foot up on something high and practice in your stance rolling that hip over, turning the hip over, still looking at the target, but really getting that hip rotation and maintaining balance, right? So foot straight forwards, rolling the hip forwards, we're turning, chopping through the hand, and that's a great way to open up the hips and get your hip rotation going as well. So let's cover it one more time. Balanced Muay Thai stance here. Visualize that target. Reach across the head. Stepping off the line. We're going to pivot on that lead foot. Tossing this leg up through the head. Back and around, all the way around 360 degrees. Rotating on that front foot. Let's do it together. Off the line. Reach across. And then toss it. Make sure you're turning the hip and you're rotating all the way around on the ball of that foot for the roundhouse, right? It's roundhouse. We'll go all the way around 360 degrees. All right, so that is your high roundhouse kick tutorial. Shout out to Eurobus. Hey, thanks for the support, brother. And to Ree Brickman, thank you so much for tuning in. So one more time now, on the heavy bag, if you've got that somatic tool at home, it's a great way to get that physical stress and anxiety out. And you want to practice the roundhouse kick to the head. We're going to square our hips up, square our shoulders up with that target. Same motion, everything. Step off the line, reach across the face, and then turn, boom, through the hip. Landing, notice, when I land, boom, what am I landing on? I'm landing on the shin. I'm close enough to contact with the shin, and because I'm rolling the hip over, that's creating the right angle. One other thing to note here on the heavy bag is when you toss that leg up and you roll that hip over, you want to keep the knee bent at the point of impact. You don't want your leg fully extended before you hit the bag. You want to make sure that you're chopping through the face or through the head of that depression dummy or through your target on that heavy bag. So a really cool way to improve your balance and improve your technique is to stand here in isolation and just drill that high roundhouse kick. Think about the different tools, think about the different balance here. Off the line, reach across, boom, and then push yourself back, right? Toss that leg up and land it and leave it on the bag, right at that head level. Making sure, checking in on you, making sure you got the hip rotation, making sure your knee is bent at the point of impact, and then you can push yourself back into orthodox stance. Heavy bag's a great tool for building power, balance, flow in that technique. So one more time. Head kick, boom, and then push yourself back, right? Reach across the head, step off the line, boom, push yourself back. Targeting with the shin, not with the foot, making sure you get that hip rotation in there to be effective. Shout out to Tanea, thank you so much for being here as well, appreciate you. All right, that's enough tutorial on the high roundhouse. Now we're gonna get into the lesson. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. We're going to use all the tools we learned over the last 21 days. We're going to add in that head kick in there and just keep it nice and flowy. Move with it, flow with it, find your zone. Find that level where you can challenge yourself to grow at your skill level. And as your skill level goes up, you can increase that challenge, increase your progress, increase those results, and give yourself credit where credit is due. That being said, let's do this thing. Starting the timer now. Make sure that you've got water. Make sure you're checking in on you and you're not pushing too hard. And breathing in the nose, out the mouth. And let's get this thing going. Visualize that depression dummy. And let's start with the fundamentals. Square hips, square shoulders. Visualize the target. Step in, toss the jab, rotate through for the cross, and then back out. Start working on your movement. If you're advanced, if you're not advanced, stay right here in isolation and just get those forms down. Get those patterns and those forms down. Focus on balance. Focus on the breath. Think about returning the hand, boom, to defend the head after each strike. And then, like I said, this is about you dialing in that challenge to you. So if you need, pick up the intensity, pick up the volume, pick up the pace. Boom. Give yourself a challenge, whatever you need for the day, checking in on where you are at. All right, keep the hands going. Bam, bam, bam. Hush, hush, hush. Exhaling through those strikes, and let's start adding in that roundhouse kick. To break it down one more time, step off the line. We're using the ball of the foot to rotate, reach across the head, toss that head kick up and over, pivoting on the ball of that foot. Make sure your knees are bent and that heel is off the ground. Otherwise, you can roll an ankle, you can twist an ankle, it's not gonna be good. Keep the guard tight, hush, hush. Work those fundamentals, hush, hush, hush. And head kick, step off the line, reach across the head of the opponent, toss through the hip, and all the way back around. Trying to keep the guard high and the guard tight all the way through that rotation. We don't want to drop our hands and have big giant swinging movements. Opens us up to counterattack. Let's keep it tight and work at our level. All right, work that roundhouse to the head and off the line. Remember, keep the knees bent, reach across the head and toss through the hip. Boom, turning that hip over. Making sure you get that rotation in there. Bum, bum, bum. And you can start adding in those other tools that we've learned over the last 21 days. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Thinking about accuracy. Think about balance. Think about flow. Mix it up. If you've got the movement down, think about what you can do when you're pivoting and you're linking those tools together. Work those other roundhouse kicks in there as well. Low roundhouse. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Mid roundhouse. Whoosh. And high roundhouse. Whoosh. Back to stand. Keep going. Visualize that opponent. Visualize making contact when you turn those fists over and land on the large two knuckles. Whoosh, whoosh. Visualize chopping through the face of that dummy when you toss the high roundhouse. Reach across, boom, and bring it all the way back around. Ha, ha. Knee strikes. Hey, that's the end of round one. Catch your breath, drink some water. Check in on you. Make sure you're giving yourself a challenge, but not pushing too hard. Too hard will lead to more anxiety and depression. Too easy will lead to boredom, and then you won't keep up with your self-care routine. So make sure you challenge yourself, make it interesting, have fun with it. You don't have to visualize depression as a person either. You can visualize it as a robot. You can visualize it as a dragon, a monster, whatever you'd like to punch, whatever you'd like to kick through. Depression is a monster, so it would be valid to visualize that as a monster that you are defeating every single day. That's how we reinforce that subconscious truth about what we're doing. We acknowledge that we are defeating that debilitation every single day. We are breaking through those lies and smashing depression down using its own tools. 7 seconds left. Let's get back into some high roundhouse action. Visualize that target. Work the hands. And then work that high roundhouse off the line. Right? Reach across the face. This hand should stay up for guard as well. And turn through the hips. Boom, all the way around, bung, bung, bung. Rotating on the ball of that foot. Ideally, you're not on rocky, jagged ground. This is very difficult for me right now, not to roll an ankle. You want to be on a smooth, flat surface, preferably a gym mat, in a dojo or in a home training center. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Use those tools. Use the ones you enjoy, the ones that work for you, and remember, give yourself that challenge. Whether the challenge is the complexity of the technique, high round, boom, or the volume of your combos, or the speed of those combos. Just give yourself a challenge. That's what's important. And give yourself credit for showing up for that challenge every single day. Boom, boom. You can slow it down or speed it up based on what you need in the given moment. Find those moves that link together, and let's start thinking about covering that roundhouse up, right? Because high roundhouse, let's do it together. High roundhouse kick. Boom. It's a very large movement. It's got a lot of tell in it, right? If I'm coming at you and I'm just gonna throw the roundhouse, you're gonna see it coming a mile away because I start like this, right? So, boom, how do we make that more effective? We've got to cover it up with something else. Let's cover it up with hands. Boom, boom. The cross. The cross is a good one to launch that rear foot from. So step in, toss your jab and cross. Bang, bang. And when you toss that cross, that's when you should start your process for the roundhouse kick. Step off the line. The cross is covering up that step. They didn't see it. And now right from here, right at that point of impact, we're going to chop that arm down and send the hip up and over. Let's do it together. Step to the jab, rotate to the cross, stepping out, and then toss that leg up. Boom. Now there's no time for the opponent to react. And you just made your roundhouse kick more elusive. Jab, cross, stepping out, toss through it. Bang. And then again, when you're training in isolation, you're training for you. Think about those little things that you can do to improve. Maybe imbalance or flow. Jab, cross, chops. Boom. Make sure you're pivoting on the ball of the foot. Bang, bang. And that weight's where it's supposed to be. Hey, you can start switching from southpaw to orthodox and thinking about those different moves that link together that way. Boom. And round 2. Catch your breath. Drink some water. Make sure you're giving yourself a challenge because you deserve it. That's how we grow out here. We grow through challenge. If you've been through challenge before, which I'm sure you have, then you deserve to grow. It's time. Let's do it. Let's make it worth it. Let's make that challenge worth it by growing from it, by learning from it, and taking the right perspective so that we can choose to take it and use it to make ourselves stronger. Right? Challenge doesn't automatically make you stronger. Challenge is just a challenge, makes life difficult. But what you choose to do with that challenge, how you choose to view it and use it, is what will allow you to become stronger from it. And then you can realize that the truth is, it is happening for you. It is happening to make you stronger. You just need to see it and do it. Take that action. Take that step. We've got 8 seconds. We're going to have fun in this last round. Flow through any striking pattern you'd like. Use all of those tools and have fun with it. You can punch to the beat of the music. You can switch through different techniques. Hey, you can really make it your own. Work the movement. Work on not rolling your ankle if you're on jagged rocks. Ooh, nice medium roundhouse. Hey. Visualize that target though at all times. Visualize that active threat. And place your strikes with intensity, with accuracy. Work those advanced techniques that maybe you need some help with. Toss the rounds in there. Make sure you're getting the hip rotation. Boom, there it is. If you don't get the hip rotation on that high roundhouse, it turns into a crescent kick. It's still a kick. It's still going to do some damage. But it's going to leave you in kind of a more awkward position, right? Boom. That right there. It's still a kick. It's still going to do some damage. It's still going to be fun to toss in there. Bum, bum, bum. Right? Let's see. Bum. Still all right. But the roundhouse is much more effective, much more powerful. It's going to come from turning that hip over, making sure, boom, you turn through the body to deliver that power right through the head of the opponent. Let's practice it. High roundhouse, let's go. And back. Keep the knee bent. At the point of impact, let's go. Reach across, and back, bang, bang, bang. Work those other tools in there. Give yourself the challenge, let's go. Move with it. If you've got the basics down, work that head movement in there. Start work slips. Bang, bang, bang. Guard changes. Work forwards and backwards. Work sides to side. Think about what you can link in with that movement to make yourself more powerful. Check kicks. Return fires. Start to become more elusive. There's no limit to how much you can grow in your own routine. A check can turn into the setup for a punch. A check can turn into the setup for a tee. Boom. The more you know, the more effective you'll become. You can start linking those things together and really start kicking the person's ass. And that's the end of round 3. I hope you had fun. I hope you found a way to challenge yourself to grow each and every single day. And like I said, this is the last day of our 21 days of gratitude routine. We try to make it as accessible as possible for all skill levels. If you missed it, you can go back and catch the whole thing, the whole 21 days on YouTube at Sack Life Daily. And you can catch a whole bunch of other free mental health tools and free ways that you can help yourself on hopetocourage.com. Check them out. See what they have to offer. You deserve the chance forwards. We got to find the tools that work for us as individuals. This is what saved my life. This is what helped me overcome suicidal ideation and clinical depression. But we are all different individuals, and we're all going to vibe with different things. So if you can pull 1 or 2 tools from here, the visualization, the gratitude, the progress tracking, the breath work, the meditation that we do on active recovery days, take those individual tools that work for you and add them into your toolkit. And keep finding as many tools as you can so you can give yourself that best fighting chance forwards towards better mental health. Until next time, I'll catch you all same sack time, same sack channel, same sack life. Sack man out.